RuneFest, please welcome to the stage Mod Mark, Mod Timbo, and Mod Jack.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the RuneScape reveal session. Ready to tell you all about the exciting updates we've got planned, all set for launch between now and February next year. I've got Mods Timbo and Jack. Now, sadly, Mod Osborne is with us only in spirit today. Because he's busy telling people to push and helping out in whatever small way he can with the birth of his second child. So good luck, Mrs. Dave, and let's hope for her sake that his giant head isn't hereditary. So, what have we got planned for you? Well, as I mentioned, this session is all about the game updates that we've got planned this winter. We are, of course, working on more than just the things that we're going to show you today. But we wanted to focus on the content that we know is coming out, rather than talking about pie in the sky dreaming. We know you get frustrated with dreams and broken promises, so you can take everything that we say as sacrosanct, unchangeable, 100%, yes, indeedy updates. The other things that we're working on are just too early to reveal, but we will have plenty of information on that real soon. Until then, let's get stuck in and introduce Till Death Do Us Part. Now, this is our fantastic month-long event for both the free and members' worlds, encapsulating all the drama and emotions from Halloween and delivering a hefty boot up the arse as the intensity escalates to a glorious conclusion. So what's the story then? Well, initially, an innocent-looking sinkhole appears outside of Draenor village, and Moya, the Zamorakian general and daughter of Lucian, has turned up to investigate. Now, you know that weird tainted shard item that you found in your inventory a few days ago? Well, that's used to help out and gather charges to, get involved with the event. But while you're off fiddling around with that, the sinkhole explodes and traps Moya, releasing powerful enemies. And whilst gaining Slayer XP, killing those enemies as they plow out of the rift, pillars throb around the void, changing function regularly, requiring you to use different skills on each pillar to keep the threat contained. You'll earn XP as you do so, but the threat levels of the enemies raise, ultimately requiring some significant outside help to help deal with things. So let's introduce the 4 riders of the apocalypse. So that's not them. That's them. These guys will be on hand to lend a helping claw or bone to avoid catastrophe. Now, Death is looking particularly serious there, which is a bit uncharacteristic of him. And of course, you know all about him. And next up to him is War, dragged out of his comfy retirement to bring his considerable power to the battle. And Pestilence follows, a human cursed with lycanthropy and forced to stay in his wolf form, otherwise he'll be overwhelmed by disease and die instantly. Avoid his fleas and his crazy crazy frog bow thing. And finally, we can see Famine at the back. This is Famine. Believe it or not, that is an Avianci. Thrown out to die by her peers, she exacted her revenge by poisoning the food stores of our home village, killing everyone who knew her and barely batting an eyelid. Now, each of these guys and girls can be triggered like a power-up, causing powerful effects like spawning War's weapons rack and using his javelins to rain down sweet justice on your enemies, or Pestilence's cauldron of bile. Nice. Thank Guthix that they are on your side this time. And with Moya still trapped inside and the threat levels escalating, one final fight remains at the end. But I won't spoil that for you. But trust me, it's well worth checking out. So what do you earn for this glorious month-long Halloween extravaganza, which launches next week? Well, there's access to a special loot cave filled with goodies, including cosmetic overrides for your weapons, mimicking those of the riders. And there's a plethora of transformation animations and plenty of XP. Now, the lore hounds amongst you should know that this event is another part of this year's hidden narrative, but more on that story later. Talking of story, next up is the exciting Needle Skips quest. Can we have the video? No, not yet. Scrub that. Now, this was first spoken about at last year's Games Jam, a special event at Jagex where developers worked in tandem with you over one special weekend, sharing designs and ultimately making classy content ready to be launched for the game. It proved to be very popular with everyone. We've already done another one this year, and we'll see others, but more on that later. Now, this quest was designed by mods Osborne and Krista, and it's a novice quest set in the Piscatoris Peninsula. So let's take a look at it.
You can ignore death, blood, murder. They all happen to faraway people with faraway lives. We lived in a house where those things didn't exist, but it was like we were pulling back the curtains and hoping for the best, hoping that those flimsy pieces of fabric would keep the violence out. We were wrong.
It's a story told from multiple perspectives, focusing around a local family and the Needle, a powerful artifact created by the Elder Gods to aid them with their planetary constructions. Now, as you can see here, something horrific has happened. But due to the powers of the Needle, the whole site is trapped in some kind of magical time bubble, leaving an untouched crime scene for you to investigate. You'll be using a search engine of sorts, entering clue words that you've discovered to unlock glimpses of history stored inside the bubble. And as you discover more clues and clue words, further plot is revealed, finally giving you the chance to save the unfortunate individuals trapped inside. This is the latest in a long history of detective quests, with previous examples like Murder Mystery or One Piercing Note. And just like One Piercing Note, it's a fully voiced quest. And it's also an all-female cast. And it's also the quest that brings us up to 400 quest points. Oh. Which obviously means one more Slayer block slot is available, which is great news, and gives you access to spot the baby black dragon wolf and have another go on the crazy magical dice. And of course, you'll have access to another Elder artifact, the Needle itself. No doubt that will come in handy in the future or past too. So let's go on to the next slide. Now, this year, we've released 2 elite dungeons, the Temple of Amanishi and the Dragonkin Laboratory. You've helped free Sarayu from a dark corruption, you've met Astalan, the first celestial dragon, and you've battled the ferocious Black Stone Dragon. But that was just the warm-up. concluding the storyline and the final part of our trilogy comes Elite Dungeon 3, The Shadow Reef. Now, set deep in the ocean, Elite Dungeon 3 will feature a particular character from RuneFest talks past. Here he is in his original concept art, his original image even, and his concept art. And here is the progress on his in-game model. Actually, that's not really showing up as much as I would like. Is it okay if you dim the lights a bit? Yeah, that's better. Now this guy, once a noble dragonkin, has been twisted and warped by a despicable, malevolent force, and is now its self-proclaimed ambassador, preparing the way, along with his other boss friends, to bring this pure evil to Gielinor. But who or what is it? Well, it's the centerpiece of this hidden storyline, and it's been going on recently. You might remember bits and pieces from Pieces of Hate, or Nomad's Elegy, or Kindred Spirits, even seeded in the pirate storyline and skeletal horror from years and years ago, and in Death Do Us Part. It was researched by the Dragonkin who lived in Ulthan Kriath, the glorious stronghold that stood where the Shadow Reef now resides. They attempted and failed to draw from its power in a dangerous ritual, a ritual led by Cranon, the Dragonkin, who has now become the fearful creature you can see on the screen before you. Over the years, the site has been like a beacon for all the evil in the area, attracting undead to stalk its forgotten passageways like an ocean of corpses. Now, it'll be up to you to disrupt the ambassador's plans. Coming during early 2019, this is a huge update to cap off the brilliant trilogy of Elite Dungeons, blending PVM challenges and Jesus Christ. Blending PVM challenges and a wonderful storyline. There's lots of new rewards planned, and while I can't say what they will be, I can say that they will be as impactful as the other rewards from the dungeons, like the Tier 92 gear and mutated melee abilities released. And just like those, it's a repeatable experience suitable for 1 to 3 players. And the sub-bosses you can face will change on each playthrough, meaning you're never quite sure what you'll face. And there's a bunch of new achievements for your elite title. And just like the first dungeon, the reef is littered with narrative set pieces, creating an unmissable update. Now, we know many of you have already worked out what this force is, and it's been fascinating seeing almost all the pieces fall together. Clever you. But there's plenty more to be discovered. Well, I'm sure glad this isn't a Ferrero Rocher advert. I have absolutely no wish to see the ambassador's balls. Talking of balls, I'd like to hand over to Mod Timbo. Timbo, you okay? Tell me, what have you been working on?
Thanks, I think, Mark.
Big balls, my friend, big balls. You are stood on a stage in front of thousands of people, after all.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Let's talk about something a little bit more shiny, shall we? Let's talk about Alchemical Onyx. Now, this might not be the very first time you've heard about me talk about Alchemical Onyx. Back in the Game Jam in April, as Mark mentioned earlier on, we designed a bunch of Alchemical Onyx. Myself, Mod Arator, we designed a whole bunch of new Alchemical Onyx jewelry that would use the new gem and try and sync out all these fortunate components. You know, all those fortunate components you got from Lucky Dice a couple of weeks ago. So, what did we come up with? Well, we came up with 3 brand new jewelry items that I want to reveal to you today and confirm exactly what they do, and they should be on their way to you in
Very soon.
yeah. In an amount of time.
In an amount of time.
Here are the 3 items. We have Ingenuity of Humans, Grace of the Elves, and Passage of the Abyss. We wanted to keep the very similar theming to Luck of the Dwarves, which uses the other Alchemical Onyx jewelry that we currently already have, and name it after different races. First of all, I want to talk to you about Ingenuity of Humans. You may already know what this is. We called it the Lucky Strike sigil back in Game Jam earlier this year. It is a brand new degradable sigil that will guarantee that your next hit has 100% accuracy. This means that you can use Stasis Warhammer while unranged, Vulnerability while melee, or if you like Mod Shawnee and can't debilitate Telos, do that as well. As I said, it is degradable, but you won't be using Alchemical Onyx to recharge it. You'll instead be using Fortunate Components directly. This is the first item that will be doing that, and we're really excited and hope this raises the price of Fortunates and keeps them valuable. Second is Grace of the Elves. This is a brand new, non-degradable necklace where we're aiming at skillers. It has 4 fantastic features, and the first one is that you can use Signs of the Porter on it, and it will charge it up to 500 charges. Once it is charged, you can wear the necklace, and whilst it is worn and charged, it will act like a Sign of the Porter. The second cool feature is that you can use the necklace to teleport using your Max Guild Garden skilling portal locations. So if you have them both attuned, the necklace will pick that up, and you'll be able to teleport from anywhere in the game where your current portals are attuned. If you don't have access to the Max Garden at all, you'll get 1 free attunement once you equip the necklace for the first time, and you can keep teleporting to the location as many times as you want. That's that. The third feature, it will half the drain rate of all Seren prayers as well. Seren prayers including things like Light Form and Superheat Form. So if you want to use those, you don't have to keep chugging prayer potions anymore. Wearing the necklace will make sure that they deplete a lot slower. And my final and favorite feature is that while skilling, you'll have access to the rare drop table. This means that no matter what you're doing, no matter where you are, as long as you're skilling, wearing the necklace, you'll have a chance to roll on the rare drop table. And some of you might have clocked already, but if you wear Luck of the Dwarves and you wear Grace of the Elves, you have a chance to get Hazelmere's Signet Ring while skilling. Thought that might get a cheer. The final item I want to talk to you today about is Passage of the Abyss, otherwise known as the Ultimate Teleporter. This is a brand new pocket slot item where you can use compacted jewelry onto it, and it will store where that compacted jewelry teleports to. You can store up to 6 different teleports on the same item, and you can also recolor the item so you can have more than one in your inventory at a single time. Now, instead of using compacted jewelry or jewelry items on the Passage of the Abyss, it instead uses charges, and they can be recharged using Fortunate Components. That is the suite of items that's coming to you in the next couple of months. I'm really happy and excited to be confirming that all this is coming to you guys, and I really can't wait to see what we do with Alchemical Onyx in the future. The next update I'm here to talk to you today about is what we are calling the Achievement Bonanza. In November, we're going to be adding at least over 100 achievements to the game. Now, these are not just any normal achievements. They are achievements aimed at both at skillers to train to make sure you have something to aim for, much like our PVM does currently. But also, we're going to add some of the more fun, the more aloof, the more funny and RuneScape achievements as well. I want to share 3 different achievements with you today that's coming in November. The first one being Dragonstone, Dragonstone, Dragonstone. So you have to kill a Dragonstone dragon whilst wearing Dragonstone armor and jewelry, using Dragonstone bolts, while having an inventory full of Dragonstones. I don't know about you, but I'm not sure the word Dragonstone means anything to me anymore after reading that. This is one of the silly achievements. There is a lot of skill involved as well, while also killing a dragon without having any food, any prayer potions, or anything like that, wearing a very specific armor set as well. But, of course, it's a bit silly, isn't it, really? The next achievement I want to talk to you about is an achievement called Livid. Throw a rotten tomato at Pauline Polaris in Nouveau Rock after having unlocked all Livid Farm spells. Poor old Pauline. She gets a hard rack of it, really. All she wanted to do was make a farm at the Livid area. I never know. But this is one of the achievements we want to reward skillers for. Unlocking a Livid Farm achievement, unlocking Livid Farm spells is a huge task. I know how much of a grind it can be. I know how much money it can cost. We want to get these achievements out to you guys and sort of show that you've done it. This is your achievement. You can earn some rune score. And yeah, it's cool. Next up, Smartest Harvest. Harvest 60 items from fruit trees in under 4 minutes. So this is one of the achievements we got for skilling. We wanted to try and want to make sure that you guys can demonstrate your efficiency, your knowledge of the game, and also how much you've achieved in the game as well, using through teleports, outfits, and all that sort of stuff. Again, these are just some of the achievements we want to release. There are over 100 coming in November, and we're super excited to have it. But of course, I couldn't leave you with just one last achievement, which is probably my favorite achievement in the whole bunch. I meant to do that. Surge a distance of 1 tile. And the last thing I want to talk to you guys about today is the RuneScape Game Jam. Now, thank you. Now, some of you know the RuneScape Game Jam is a time where designers and developers and players, we come together over Discord, social media, Reddit, the forums, and we hash out different designs, we hash out different updates, and we really get an opportunity to work together, and you guys get to see the transparency of design, development, all the way through the process. In the previous years, in the game jams, we've released some fantastic updates such as the luck rework, the buff bar, the login screens, and even the needle skips quest today presented came from a game jam update. This year, off the back of RuneFest, being enthused and energized by you guys, hearing all your fantastic suggestions, and just seeing your wonderful faces, we are going to have a RuneScape Game Jam on the 18th of October. Like previous years, you can get involved through Discord, forums, Reddit, my personal Twitter. Come on, hit me up, and we'll talk about what we want to see in coming next year. The themes for this year, what we are focusing on particularly, is reducing data escape, increasing combat diversity, and tidying up areas of the game. If you have any suggestions for that, please come hit me up. First of all, about tidying up the game, I want to make an important announcement that Ninja are currently working on right now. We are removing mobilizing armies. It's not a pie-in-the-sky idea anymore. It is happening. It is being done. All of the rewards for mobilizing armies right now are being redistributed across the game, and the trim completion requirement is being removed. For the game jam, we have a bunch of guaranteed slots to release in January and February. So like previous years, they will no longer languish on our infamous backlog. Right. That's it for me. I'm going to hand you over to ModJack to talk about more winter reveals.
Thanks, Timbo. Thank you for not talking about my balls.
Not today.
The first update I'm here to talk about is mining and smithing. Woo! This isn't my first time at RuneFest talking about this update. In fact, the first time I was here at RuneFest talking about this update, I still had hair. Hopefully this is my last time talking about it at RuneFest, though, because we are this close to being finished. Hopefully by now you've all had a chance to play the demo, which is just through there. If you haven't, then pop by and see us after the talk. We'll give you the tour. We're just through there. If you don't get a chance, or if you're watching from home, then there will be a full feature-complete mining and smithing beta test in November. There'll be an open beta available to all members. make sure you log on and try it out, because your feedback is really important to this project. This is by far the most player-influenced update we've ever made. Just this week, we've been improving drop tables based on feedback that they weren't good enough. Even more importantly, I can also tell you the full release of the project is coming in January 2019, the first update of next year. That gives us enough time to run the beta test, make sure everything's working, make any changes we need to based on the feedback that you give us. We want to make sure that we get it right. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll give you a quick overview of what this massive project involves. At the heart of the rework is this problem. Rune armor takes level 85 smithing to make, but only level 50 defense to wear. We're fixing that, and we're lowering the mining and smithing requirements to match the combat requirements. So Rune will require level 50 to mine, level 50 to smith, and level 50 to wear. Of course, that leaves the top half of the skill empty, so we've added in 4 new tiers of metal and armor to mine and smith and use. You can see the level 70 armor, Necronium, on the right, and the level 90 armor, Elder Rune, on the left. Some of you may also remember in an earlier version of this rework, because we've been doing this for a while now, that we made 3 other suits of armor called Necrite, Invictum, and Ethereum. Those will also be available as cosmetic overrides in the rework. So if you prefer them, you can wear those too. That's not all, though. The mining skill will still feel like mining, but we've made some substantial improvements to it. To start with, rocks don't deplete now. That means competition for rocks is gone. So rather than fearing and hating the sight of other players, maybe you can just all get together and mine and talk to each other and enjoy each other's company. It also means we love each other. It also means we can AFK mine now, but there are other mechanics to reward you for clicking more frequently and paying attention. You'll also be able to get the new ore box item, either by smithing it or trading for it. As long as it's been upgraded to the right tier, this box allows you to carry 100 of each type of ore, meaning you can make much longer mining runs before you need to bank. You may not even need to bank, though, because we're adding a special new metal bank, which can be accessed from any anvil or furnace. This bank stores up to 2 billion of each ore or bar, so that should save you some of your bank space. The smithing skill has also been improved. The metal bank isn't just for mining. You can smelt and smith using bars straight out of it. You'll also be able to upgrade your smithed equipment. This uses additional bars and creates slightly better items within the same tier. Upgrading gives faster XP than basically creating items, so you can choose a smithing strategy which optimizes XP, or optimizes making money, or some balance of the two that suits you. We've also rebuilt the Artisan's Workshop, so it'll be the main hub for smithing. Smithing won't just be making tiered armor for leveling, though. At 99 smithing, you'll unlock the ability to make masterwork armor. This is tier 90 power armor, as good as Malevolent, made entirely through the mining and smithing skills. For DIYers and Iron Men, that means you get skilling access to top quality armor, but it's maybe not so useful if you're already geared up. But we've got you covered too, because you'll be able to take your tier 90 masterwork armor, combine it with PVM drops, and make a set of tier 92 trimmed masterwork armor. This power armor will be the best melee armor in the game, and as it requires input from skilling and PVM, it should share the wealth around a little bit. Unlike Malevolent armor, it degrades to broken, so it's more of a long-term investment. There's loads more I don't have time to mention, so please try the demo today, try the beta test in November, and join us for the full launch in January. It's going to be awesome. I knew it was worth putting that in. In the meantime, if you want to look at the full documentation, the whole thing is documented, the design is completely open. Follow that URL. If you want to give feedback, the best place is either on Discord in the mining and smithing channels, or just tweet me directly. Or you can come talk to me while I'm in there. The last update we're going to talk about is the last game update of the year, and of course, that's the Christmas update. You heard earlier about the month-long extravaganza we're planning for Halloween, and we didn't think we needed something quite that intense over Christmas. What we did think we needed this year was another quest. So as with Broken Home a few years ago, instead of making a new temporary event, we're making a new permanent quest instead. Because it's a permanent quest, you could be playing it in the middle of summer, so it won't be strictly Christmas-themed, but it will be seasonal. There'll be snow and family and celebration, but there won't be Santa hats or reindeer. It's been 10 years since the quest Myths of the Whitelands launched, so to celebrate that incredible milestone, we're going back to the Land of Snow for our new quest, Violet is Blue. This is Violet. Violet is a Yeti, or at least she thinks she's a Yeti. Her parents, who actually are Yetis, found a tiny human baby lost in the snow, adopted her, and have been raising her ever since. The problem is Violet is 6 now, and she's insistent it's time to visit Yeti Town and meet all the other Yetis. This is where you come in. Her mum and dad don't know what humans are like, so they need your help in making her trip the most magical adventure it can be. It's a puzzle quest, but with a twist. You need to get Violet from A to B, but you can't just remove the obstacles in her path. You need to resolve every situation in a way that ensures her journey is one to remember. For example, if you come across a dangerous icy lake, your job isn't just to get Violet safely across it. You need to get her across in a way which is super awesome and fun, like hiding her in a barrel covered in lights and rolling it across the ice. This is a seasonal quest, so it will be a novice quest with no requirements, but there will be additional post-quest XP available for high-level players to make sure it's well worth your time. In addition to the permanent quest, we do want to make sure there's plenty of official Christmas stuff to do as well. So we'll be bringing back and tidying up some past content and giving it a new home at the Grand Exchange. The Giant Cracker is back. Everyone loves the Giant Cracker. And there'll be a few other skilling activities to play over the Christmas period. Those activities will give better XP if you've completed the quest, so make sure you get on it as soon as it's released. The Festive Aura will be available as always, giving you extra XP daily, and the Advent Calendar will be returning, so make sure you claim your free prize every day in December. Finally, Winter Weekends will be back. Minigames, Gathering, and Combat will be returning, with the addition of new content like Safe Cracking and Solak. We also have 3 brand new weekends featuring deep-sea fishing, elite dungeons, and the player-owned farm. As you can see, Christmas is going to be paruppa-pum-pumping. Now I'll hand you back to Mod Mark.
Thanks, chaps. So, Mod Jack, just to confirm there, in the mining and smithing stuff you talked about, if I had some masterwork armor, I could give it to you and you could trim it for me?
I'll trim it, yeah. Meet me behind there, and I'll trim your armor.
Trim my armor?
Yeah, just over the line.
So you're saying that you could trim my armor?
5 mil.
Sounds like a scam to me. Well, let's just have a quick recap of everything that we've talked about. Now, these are the updates that we've spoken about, all due for launch between now and February 2019. As I said earlier, this session only talks about the things that we're 100% certain about. Now, of course, there is plenty more planned, including a massive update in development happening right now. But that is far too early to talk about. But when we have more concrete information, you will know about it. Now, for the eagle-eyed amongst you, you've probably noticed our final announcement today. The official RuneScape mobile beta starts next week on the 8th of October. It's limited access, so you'll need to get in there quick, and we will announce it on the RuneScape homepage the second that it launches on the Google Play Store. Now, there's no sign-up for this. It's first come, first served, so get your Android devices ready on that day to log in and play. But for all of those of you in the building, all of those of you that have bought RuneFest tickets, you are guaranteed entry. And those boys are very surprised about that because literally we have managed to sort that out today because we know how special you guys are. As you know, the feedback from the players is the lifeblood of everything that we do. So we really want to know what you think. So for those of you that are here, those of you that have bought RuneFest tickets, do keep your eyes out in your inbox for an invite. So this, of course, is your chance to play the game you know and love wherever you want. We've seen Talos defeated several times on the mobile devices, so really, anything is possible anywhere. And that's it. Thanks very much for listening. I hope there's something in there for everyone. Look out for more information on the juicy updates in the future that didn't make the presentation. But for now, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you later at the party.